everybody. Hi, it's Becky from powertoolswiththread.com. That's my blog. Oh, speaking of the blog, I need to put a post out. We had a winner of Pat Sloan's new book, Holiday Celebrations, and that was Sandy Gwynn. Sandy's a member of our Facebook group, and I have put that out there on the group as well. And Sandy, if you're watching, you need to email me no later than Saturday, June 19th at 5 p.m. Central to claim your prize. And I will put my email and all of the info below in the description box. And so I hope to hear from you and you can win your prize. But if you don't, I'm kind of on a time schedule here. So I will have to pick another winner if I do not hear from you by Saturday, June 19th at 5 p.m. Central. Sandy Gwynn, congratulations. So we just took the Winnebago out, new to us Winnebago. We bought a 2011 Winnebago Tour. And it's 10 years old. It had 15,000 miles on it, and we just took it out on its second trip. Keith and I donned our Winnebago t-shirts that were gifted to us by one of my viewers. I appreciate that so much. We really enjoyed them. And then we went to Lost Lagoon RV Resort in El Campo, Texas. And wow, what a place. Huge park, huge water park. And Friday and Saturday, there was so many kids in those pools. Oh my gosh, it was nuts. But we really had a great time. Tons of pull-through spaces, and they've got a really neat little system there where they give you an armband and it has your little barcode on it, and then anytime you want anything, you just flash your barcode and beep, and they take care of it. So kind of nice. But if you've got kids and you want to travel and go to an RV resort that they'll really enjoy, that's a good one right there. It's not too old of a park, kind of out of the way a little bit, but it's pretty nice. Well, Saturday morning, my quilty buddy Lisa and I took off and went to Two Chicks Quilting in Ganado, which is just down the road from El Campo. There used to be a nice quilt store in El Campo called the Cedar Chest, and they closed a couple of years ago. Actually, the owner of that became a designer for Villa Rosa Designs, and so she has a couple of patterns out there. But Lisa and I went to Two Chicks. Oh, and you know what? Two Chicks Quilting is expanding. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but it's fine, whatever. They're gonna open a brand new store and just down 1 mile away from the old one. So that's going to be pretty cool. Everybody's very excited about it. And I can't wait to help with the grand opening. If we're in town, I'm going to be doing that. Anyway, so we went to Two Chicks, and this is kind of my last quilt run for now with Lisa, because she and her husband were gone on the road for 2 months in their RV, and they absolutely loved it. And so they decided to sell their house and kind of quasi full-time, sort of. They're moving to the Carolinas, but they'll be back. They've got kids and grandkids here in the area, so they'll be back probably once or twice a year, I'm sure. Anyway, so while I was at the quilt store in Ganado at Two Chicks Quilting, you guys remember the Brady Bunch, right? That awesome show in the 70s, Brady Bunch. Well, remember Marsha, Maureen McCormick? Did you know she's a quilter? She is. And she's got this line out called not a Brady Bunch, but a Blooming Bunch. And this is just adorable. See, there she is, Maureen McCormick. It's bright colors with flowers, lots of floral prints, just beautiful, beautiful stuff. There's a bunch of different designs in this line, and you get more of them if you buy a pre-cut. So I picked this up, and then I broke out my Villa Rosa Designs app and filtered on 10-inch squares, and I came up with Junebug. This is a super cute and easy girl quilt. Isn't that adorable? So I figured I could make this with a blooming bunch And I picked up this black with white dot for the little bug heads. I thought that would be cute. And I picked up white on white. It's a floral, white on white for my background. Perfect for that line. And I got the green plaid for a binding. And then Lisa had a great idea. She said, you need to use the luminaire and come up with some little antenna to put on each one of these little bug heads. How cute would that be? Of course, it's perfect. And then they were also having 30% off their books and their notions. So I picked up, for a book, I picked up Perfect 10 Quilts. This is an awesome book, and it is designed for layer cakes, and I have a load of layer cakes. So this book has every pattern, they're named like for ice cream, and then every pattern uses a 10-inch square to start with. So it just has a lot of adorable patterns and pieces in here that you can start with a 10-inch square. So it's designed to go with Creative Grid's Perfect 10 ruler, and I have that right here. Here, I'll put it on a project board so you can see it better. So that's what it looks like, and one of the reasons I really like this ruler, as you will find with pre-cuts, is that a 10-inch square is not a 10-inch square is not a 10-inch square. So today, while I was cutting a pre-cut that I bought to make a quilt with out for the RV, I actually trimmed all of the 10-inch blocks using this Perfect 10 ruler. And that way I know that they're all the same. Because when you get a pre-cut, for you new quilters, pre-cuts are great because you get a little bit of the fabric in the line, and that way, especially if you're like me and you're not good at picking colors, they're already put together for you by somebody who designed it, which is great, right? All I need is a pattern. The problem is you never know if it's 10 inches at the peak or 10 inches at the valley, if that at all, on any one of them. Generally by manufacturer, they're the same. And so it's best to have a 10-inch ruler to be able to get everything straight. And I ended up tipping most of my 10-inch squares. It kind of came out in the middle on the Moda that I was just using. So anyway, so I got that. And then I also picked up, there is a brand of rulers out there called Quilter Select, and they are amazing rulers. This is one right here. You can tell the Quilter Select, it'll have the QS there in the middle. And it has, like this side is shiny, but this side has like a really super thin rubber coating. And when you put this down on a cutting mat and then you have fabric under it and you try to move, it will not move. It just holds tight, and it's really important to get your cutting right from the very get-go, because how you cut your pieces, that is the foundation for how everything's going to fit together. You can fudge on your seam allowance a little bit, depending on the pattern, but when you're confident in your cut that it's right, then that gives you just a kind of a boost to say, okay, I know that I'm going to be able to do this. So this is an 8.5-inch ruler. It has the extra 1/2 inch here on the side. I really like that because you're forever cutting 2.5-inch strips. So now I just know I need to mark it, and it's got a 2.5-inch long line, or you can do individual inches from this side, either way. So I have an Omni Grid, and it went into the motorhome, and so the Quilter Select is staying here with me. But 30% off, and that was too good of a sale not to grab this, because they're not cheap. Worth every penny. I got some stuff in the mail, and what else did I want to tell you guys? I want to make sure that I don't miss telling you anything. While I was at Two Chicks, I met a couple of viewers, so it was great to see you guys. Don't be afraid to say, hey, can we get a selfie together? Happy to do that with you. So that was a lot of fun to run into you. It's always great. They're like, oh, I've got you on my phone. So that's a lot of fun. So I told you about June bugs, and oh, so while we were there, if you spent more than $50, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 free fat quarters. Sign me up. That's easy to spend more than $50 in a quilt store, right? So let me show you the fat quarters. Really pretty blue. And there's a pink swirly. Kind of a pink cloudy thing, pink and purple. And there's a purple swirly. And a purple cloudy with some pink. And a green swirly. Very pretty stuff. I always use that for applique. Screams Easter, right? And summer. Very fun. Okay, so I got that. And then in the mail, my last video, I had told you guys that I was going to do Pat Sloan's Summer Soiree. It's just a summer quilt along. Gives you something to do. It's like July 7th through September 29th. And I ordered that all from the Fat Quarter shop, and my Fat Quarter bundle came in. I'm gonna leave it closed up, but here is what it looks like. It's by Fig Tree and Company from Moda, and it is called Figs and Shirtings. And there's everything from a black to green and lime, grays, orange, yellows, very, very pretty stuff. So I'm really excited to make something with this. That's gonna be nice. And then I got this fabric. This is gonna be the backing. It's called Dusk. And then this is Nana's Pajamas in Marmalade for the binding. It's kind of an orange, real pretty. Also, it takes kind of an off-white background fabric, and I have a load of that. So I didn't need to order any of that. You guys, if you're trying to build your stash, Missouri Star Quilt Company and Fat Quarter Shop have a daily deal. Missouri Star calls theirs a daily deal, and it changes every day at midnight. Central, I think. I think they're Central Time. And then Fat Quarter Shop changes theirs every day at 8 a.m. And Missouri Star, like today, had 2 yards of blue confetti solids for 2 yards was like 7 something. And then I had $6 in quilters cash on there. So I applied that, and my whole order came out to about $6. I always do that. They offer up gray a lot, off-white, white, the solids. Always snag those, because you never know, even if you think you have some, because what if this quilt takes 2.5 yards of background fabric, right? I have it. I've got plenty. So I didn't need to pick that up. That was good. Also in the mail, Missouri Star, they had a daily deal. It's called Tea with Bee. And here it is. It's a beautiful floral. I'll flip it over. It's got a picture of each of the prints on the back. Very, very pretty, soft, feminine stuff. I wanted to make a couple of placemats for the motorhome because I'm trying to brighten it up. I love it. It's very elegant, but there's a lot of black in there and a lot of dark brown, and I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit with wall hangings and things. So I decided I would make Flora from Villa Rosa Designs. This is a table runner pattern, but I'm going to make it into 2 placemats. The reason I got 2 of these charm packs is because they were offering 2 that day on the daily deal. So I got 2 of those, and then I ordered extra yardage. I've got this aqua, it's kind of a teal, aqua green sage. We'll call it sage. It's a very pretty sage color with floral. It's a floral print. I've got mustard with little bees on it. And I got the teacups. So, in the comments below, I need some help. So this is going to be for Flora, okay? All these prints are going to be in the middle. So, do I inner border, outer border, like this? Or do I inner border, outer border like this? Okay? And then this would be the backing. I have enough of the teacups for border and backing. I don't know. I need some help. I need some help. That would be real cute to put together. And then you only need like half, I think, of one of these. Let me see, how many charms? 30 assorted charms. So there's 5 extra in the charm. So I've got plenty. I'm not sure which one I want to do. I can't decide. I thought I knew, so I always, I just ordered a yard of everything. And then also Patchwork Picnic. This was on sale, I think. And this is an adorable book. And I was going to use a bunch of patterns out of this to make mini wall hangings for inside the motorhome. So let me get a picture. They have it's more than just a quilt. They've got all kinds of projects in here. Here's the sampler quilt. So look, it's got an adorable, look at the fish with the bobbers, and it's got a frog and ladybug, watering can, just cute, cute stuff. Just adorable. There's the bee flower. Look at the bear. Isn't he precious? I thought that I would make some of these for little mini quilts to hang around in the motorhome. And they've got just the cutest things. Look at these pot holders. Aren't those adorable? Oh my gosh, those are cute. And there is a cross hatching. If you guys want to make pot holders and you've got the Luminaire or the Solaris, think about having your backing just a little bit too big and hooping it, and then putting on your quilt top with your Thinsel Bright, right? And then create in Design Center, use that cross hatching design. And you can make your own, it'll cross hatch for you so you don't have to do it with your sewing machine. Use it as an embroidery design. How cool is that? How about if I make one of these and show you how? That would be really cool. That changes everything when it comes to making this, to be able to do those in those machines, because the capability of those machines is just too fun. A lot of fun. I'll show you how to do that. I'll whip one of these up. I might just do it as a sample because I got a lot going on here. I got a lot going on. So that was everything that came in the mail. And then this morning, like I had mentioned, I spent a little bit of time, and this is from, this line of fabric here is the Williamsburg, from Colonial Williamsburg, and I had gotten a layer cake from Missouri Star of this. That's that beautiful fabric with the gold metallic print in it. This morning I trimmed up all of my squares, I cut my cornerstones, I got my sashing strips ready to go. So that's all ready to get put together. And I'm going to use Villa Rosa Designs pattern Wellington. I needed a pattern that was easily adaptable for the motorhome because I need a quilt that is shaped like this so that it's narrower on the top so I don't have so much bulk to shove down next to the nightstands. And Maria was very nice to make this up for me. So this is not exactly Wellington, but it gives me a real good idea of how to modify Wellington to make it work. See those red cornerstones on there? Okay, and how that sashing is? That's what these little black guys are going to be with gold metallic little flowers. Very, very pretty stuff. I think it's going to look great. I can't wait. Okay, so then on the way home, we got all the way to Victoria, Texas, which is about 100 miles from here-ish. And he says to me, Keith, he says, "You want to drive?" Okay, because we're going to take a 3-week-long trip coming up in the end of July. And it's hard for one person to do that. And he said, "You need to learn how." And I was like, okay, I'll do it. That's the old sergeant in me. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. How hard can it be? Oh my gosh, you guys. I did great. I got to tell you, I did great. And we were towing, we have a little Chevy Spark. And it was so funny. I sent him to the UPS store a couple weeks ago. We had just bought the motorhome. And I sent him to the UPS store a couple weeks ago and I said, "Take this package and we've got a pickup to come back," right? So he's gone for like an hour and a half. And I figured he decided to go to Home Depot or who knows, So I was hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm here sewing and time's flying by. I'm not really paying attention to it. And then I hear outside, meep, meep. I'm like, what is I go outside and he bought this little bitty little Chevy Spark. It's a tiny car, y'all. We could probably fit it in the back of the F-350. I said, what is that? And he goes, we're going to tow this with the motorhome. I was like, oh my word. You guys, it is so funny. He goes, get in, let's take it for a test drive. I said, okay. So, and you guys, we're a Ford family. I mean, we haven't bought anything other than a Ford in 20 years we've been married. I had, anyway, we're a Ford family. He even used to work at Jordan Ford. I mean, as a salesman. So we support Ford for NASCAR and all that. But anyway, Roush Racing. Anyway, so I get in the driver's seat, okay? And he's running around to the passenger side and he goes, unlock the door and let me in. And I'm looking for the button to unlock the door and there is no button. I have to reach over and dunk and pull the little lever up. It's got crank windows. Oh my gosh, this is a bare bones vehicle. And believe it or not, it's a 4-door. I couldn't believe it. So it's got a little bitty trunk, which is just perfect. We only need this for like quilt store runs and Walmart. That's all we need it for when we go somewhere, because you don't want to unhook the RV. It was different when our previous RV was a 5th wheel. So you park the RV, you get it all hooked up with your water and your septic hoses and all that, and your truck is free. You can go, that's why we had a 350, because we were towing this big 45-foot toy hauler, Raptor toy hauler. So the truck's free and you can go shopping or do whatever you need to do. Well, now the motorhome, you can't just unhook it and drive somewhere. You need to have an extra set of wheels. That's why you always see those motorhomes and they're usually towing a Jeep. Well, Jeeps, woo! It's like they're made out of gold nowadays. So this was a 2020 Chevy Spark, and it was on the local Chevy lot here in our little town, Kept Chevrolet, and Keith went over there and got it, and he didn't pay much for it at all. It's just amazing. It's just this little bitty thing, and it gets 40 miles to the gallon. But it was perfect. It got me to the quilt store, and that's all that matters, right? So it's got a radio, it has a backup camera, it has air conditioning. Boom. That's all. No cruise control, no electric windows, no electric door locks, nothing like that. Too funny, too funny. That's kind of what we've been up to around here. We just had to take the motorhome over to the Freightliner dealership today. We've got a local one, because that Winnebago is a Freightliner 450 horse, I don't know. All the men know those things. We bought the extended warranty on it. It's 10 years old. It needs tweaking. So it's getting a new valve or something, and they're gonna look at the air conditioner, which is blowing but not super cold. And so we took it, he drove it, I followed him today, and then we came home. And that's kind of it. So that's been what we've been up to, and I'm still doing laundry from the trip. But I'm getting ready to start sewing on Williamsburg for the motorhome, and I wanted to make this video and put all this stuff away. I did take Miss Texas, my Featherweight 221, and I wanted to try out a new bobbin case. The bobbin case that came with it was chipped, and it was kind of making a noise. So I put the new bobbin case in it. It seems to run a little bit better. I only stitched like 4 blocks together for Hope from Pat Sloan's Hope quilt from back in March. We were busy playing in the pool, having a good time, grilling. We were there with 7 families and 7 RVs all together. So there was nonstop, constant activity, and lots of cornhole, playing lots of cornhole. We had a really good time. So our next sew along is going to be actually an embroider-along, and that will be Merry and Bright. We start July 5th, and it's free to follow along with the video. And if you are going to be getting the kit, there is a 3-yard kit of fabric if you have a standard 5x7 hoop. If you have a larger oval hoop, You will need just another yard or two of fabric, and all of that is linked below to Reb's Fab Stash. She has that all set up for us. And if you are going to be doing this, do not pre-wash your fabric, because you want to leave the manufacturing sizing in it as much as possible. So just leave it be. You can go ahead and iron it if you want. You can starch it if you want. You are going to need black woven fusible interfacing on there. I've got a link to all of this at my website, Power Tools with Thread calendar of events page. And you can get all the supplies that you need, and we will get started July 5th. All right, you guys, that's all I've got for today. We'll talk to you soon. Go sew something. Bye.